Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're reading for October 28th, 29th, and 30th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, if you're new to the channel, or if you just want to bypass and cross-watch, then down there under the description is a timestamp, because this is the introduction and it's on all the videos. So if you want to bypass, go straight to whatever the video is you want, the part of the video you want, go down there, okay? Okay. Now, you know that this is the weekend, and I want to thank everyone. I am starting to feel better. I'm starting to actually have more energy, which is wonderful. I will be getting on soon. I've been reading the comments, but I haven't been able to answer the comments just yet. I go to answer the comments and say, oh, I think I need a little nap. Sorry, so I'm still napping during the day. Whatever this is, it's not horrible. It just makes you want to sleep. So don't worry about any of this. Carve out some time should this happen where you can get some rest. Chicken noodle soup or chicken soup, wonderful, wonderful recovery tool. Anyway, this is the weekend, so I am going to be using my Radley Valentine deck, my Angel Tarot cards. For the main reading, I will use my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards. I will use my Doreen Virtue and Grant Virtue, the Angels of Abundance, and of course I'll pull one from my Emily Anderson Crystal deck. Now, because this is the introduction, I am going to be using my Waite Rider Tarot deck, and I'll pull about 3 cards from there, and then I will pull one from my Colleen Barrett Reed, the Good Tarot. I have prayed, meditated, and infused all the decks with Reiki energy. Just remember, these are general readings. They may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest, okay? Okay. Now, just kind of going over what's the weird stuff going on in the world. You know, we are in Scorpio season. As of today, we are having that new moon. It was a partial solar eclipse, which actually gives a really big jump start to whatever's going to be happening right now. And then in 2 weeks later, we are going to have that full moon, and it's going to be a Taurus full moon, and it will be a total lunar eclipse. Now, normally that's not so bad, but we are in the, and I shouldn't say so bad, we are in the Taurus. Taurus is in the northern node and Scorpio is in the southern node. Scorpio has this, Scorpio in the southern node brings about a lot of karmic past, okay? While Taurus in that northern node is about building a future. But we are in the karmic past. We are dealing with some things that maybe we didn't deal with right, or maybe we were just not aware of. And remember too, and I know you have to look at this whole big thing, and it gets very, very overwhelming. You know, I talk about Saturn, illusion versus reality, and so many things that we haven't really looked at that's the reality of our world. Then we have something that just went on, or I talked about the full moon, and that's going to have some Uranus type of influences, really, really strong Uranus type, to the point people have said that, when I just do my research, a lot of this is what I get from my feelings and from my research per se, or how I interpret what I'm getting from research. But they're saying that there's going to be so much of this. It's going to be very structured, very strictured. It's just going to be very boxed in type of energy, especially around that full moon. So, so that in itself, very, very tight. And again, I'm always talking about that good old Saturn in Aquarius. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is, okay, basically we have we have Jupiter that has been retrograding, and it is retrograding from Aries into Pisces. Now, I'd said it wasn't necessarily going slow, but it is starting to go slow, because around November, I'm not sure, November 20th or something, it starts to go direct again. So this goes back into that it's starting to go direct, retrograde stationary. And this is where things start to look at, I'm always thinking the stationary part is where the energies are really concentrating on whatever needs to happen now. Okay, so it is doing that. But then we also have on the 29th Mercury entering Scorpio. So again, news, news, electronics, hearing things, just fast acting, almost like not being able to hold on to your hat. Remember, it's like hold on to your hat, where, things are about to get shaky now, or things are about to move fast. That's what's going to be happening more with Mercury in Scorpio. And remember, Scorpio to me does not like secrets. Scorpio also has that transformation type of energy, such as Pluto has, the rising of the Phoenix. But another interesting part, though, is October 30th. Mars is going retrograde. So what's interesting about that is we're coming to the end of a retrograde season. Okay, I think that even Neptune goes direct, I think, in early December. So we're coming to this towards the end, where it should be tapering off the retrogrades, and now we have a new retrograde that is going into place. So those are little oddities. Another little oddity. So what does it mean? It just means that things are happening that we are not used to seeing happening. And again, it's like all of this planetary movement wants to really shake things up more and more and more. Now, the other interesting thing that's kind of lovely for us, though, is I did post, I think it was more on Facebook. I'm sorry, not feeling as well. I did not post it on our community chat, here. But I posted this thing with Venus. Venus goes through this cycle. It's a 1-year cycle, but then it does it 8 years in a row. And when it does this, and if you look at the computer simulation of it all, it turns into this beautiful flower pentagram, very loving, just very beautiful to behold. Now, for the last 90 plus years, this petal journey, and like I said, it does it every 8 years. Each petal starts and has been ending in Scorpio. This time around, it is doing it in Libra. So it will be doing this for a good another 90 to 100 years, where it starts in Libra season and then it ends in Libra season. And like I said, it does this for an 8-year cycle until it comes to the beginning again, and it creates something quite beautiful. It really, really is a beautiful thing. So let's see what we have here. Venus is in Scorpio. We are in Scorpio. The new moon is in Scorpio. We do have, like I said, Mercury is entering into Scorpio, and Mars in Gemini is going retrograde at 9:26 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And, that's Mars. Now, I do associate Mars with Aries because Mars is Aries. Aries is Mars. Greek, Roman mythology, whatever you want to say. But Mars is also very strongly connected with that recycle, that death, birth type of energy of Scorpio. So I just feel like these 2 weeks, there's just a lot of interesting stuff, and just be prepared for an interesting ride. The other thing, though, is not to worry about any of it. Not to worry about any of it. These are things that happen, and we just continue. Whatever is going on in the world, in the universe, no matter how, it can feel very, very stressful, and I do get stressed too, but I still have to live my life, okay? And I still work to keep my vibrations high, because that's part of our job, is to keep our vibrations high. Lots of activity happening this coming weekend, coming and going. We have the 8 of rods, 8 of fire. Lots of activity happening. Again, not knowing if we're coming or going. Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Passionate, very burning, very determined energy. 8, unlimited opportunities and possibilities. Things happening that we're not necessarily, like I said, things happening that we're not necessarily in the best control of. But it's not horrible energy. It's not out of control energy. They are, but again, we don't know if it's coming or going. Okay, let's see what else we might have here. Remember, rods, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, burning, passionate, determined. Next card up, the World. So this is reverse. So the reversed energy has, to me, it's a little stronger energy. Other people read reverse cards differently. I just say, hey, pay attention. So we have a 21, we have a 2. 2 is choices, decisions. We have a 1, new beginning. The World is basically things are completed, things are done, things are happening, but you've done what you needed to do. Now, could it just be that there's a lot of, could we just read it very simply that there's a lot of activity going on in the world? We don't know if we're coming or going. Definitely we can do that. But the World does give a very good vibration that says, again, not to worry, not to stress. These are things that have to happen. They have to happen in order for a lot of that, a lot of what I was just saying in the heavens to be completed. Okay, next card is, now we have that 7. We have that 7. 7 is a divine number to me. It is a divine number. It gives me a divine umbrella. It says that even if things are happening you don't like, it is happening for a reason, and there is a divine covering. Okay, now we have a Sword energy. Sword energy is our air energy. It is our Aquarius, our Gemini, and our Libra energy. So, basically, Aquarius and Gemini have a lot going on in the game right now. They're, Gemini, Mars, by going retro, is going to be covering a lot of old ground. And like I said, whenever things, and it's retro stationary right now. So it's kind of watching and seeing, what do I need to do? But as it goes retro and it starts to pick up a little more movement, it goes and really looks at what was left undone. So, what else needs to be cleaned up? Now, we do see this guy. This does have a kind of that 5 of Sword energy where he's kind of has that sneaky snake energy. So Swords is about making plans, thinking things through. It is about basically, like I said, hearing news too. But it's all about, hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. But so, like I said, there is that sneaky snake type of stuff. But the 7 of Swords, to me, is giving me a trickster energy right here. It's kind of like, look over there, don't look over here. So let me divert your attention. I'm kind of like, while you're thinking everything's all nice over here, I'm making way, and I'm taking the 5 swords over here. So there is a sneaky snake energy here, but there's also a trickster energy. So be aware of your environment. Be aware of, like I said, this has to do with making plans, but it's also hearing news. It's also strategy. So again, it's, does it concern the world? It could. The world, though, does give us that energy that says, not to worry so much, but lots happening. Look over here. Don't look over there. There's a trickster energy. There's a diversion energy, and it surrounds the world. So let's see what we've got going on here. Let's see. For this energy, for this going on. Higher power. Now remember, if I didn't say this, I am an intuitive channeler. I open myself to higher power, Holy Spirit, God, whoever that is that you say. I say God, Holy Spirit, and just say whatever you want, whatever this is your channel, not mine. So here we go. Let's see what we've got. Higher power. What else is there about this weekend? Interesting times. As always, interesting times. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, how lovely is this? Okay, so again, reversed. We have drawn the Tower card. So this is a 16, this is a 1, new beginning, 10, transitional energy. 6 is the number of man. It's the energy you put into something. 1 plus 6, though, is a 7. So it is divinely covered. It is divinely guided. It is the Tower card. It is where everything feels like it's falling apart and falling down. But again, it's one of these times that it has to do this. Now, there is also a very big cleansing with this falling. There is this there's a sense of, whatever this is that's falling apart, it is getting rid of the things that we don't need anymore. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy energy. It doesn't mean that it's easy to get through. We have to maintain, we just have to keep our eyes, on this world card. We have to remember things will turn around. Things will, everything goes full circle energy. But the Tower card is not necessarily a pleasant card to go through. But in order for something to be, to be rebuilt, or I shouldn't say rebuilt, in order for something to be built, it needs solid ground. I do get this energy with this, though. I am picking up a lot of the gray energy here, but I do have that blue sparkles, not sparkles, but the blue kind of shining through also. But the gray energy is not necessarily, like I said, it's not necessarily a positive, but it's something that has to be done in order for things to be moving on. Okay? Interesting stuff. Can't really tell you, we will see what we will see. Please take a moment. I know being off that one time, it messes up the algorithm so much. So I would really appreciate it if you could like, share, subscribe, click on the bell, comment. If you've done all of that, undo it and do it again. I get a lot of people telling me that, my videos just don't pop up. I do put them in playlists, and I also get a lot of people telling me that there's missing videos. And I know I really don't post anything until I have all the videos ready to go. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. I'm a small channel, and that would just help a lot. Anyway, why don't we get started with our videos now? Hello, my Sages, and how are you doing? Well, there's not a lot of fire energy going on, so this is okay for you. Kind of like keep the fire banked a little bit, kind of keep it a little more controlled, and just see what needs to be done. I know we've been watching and watching and watching. And I know, but I know that I tell you sometimes to go forth and just let it burn. I'm not saying not to let it burn. I'm just kind of like, don't be real aggressive or assertive coming into this weekend. But again too, just going back to the old crop places, when they used to, where they still do, I don't know, when at the end of the season, they would burn it down and then let it be dormant for a little bit of time. That's just been kind of how your energies have been. And this might be that weekend again to do it. I think the thing that I'm trying to say is that, this eclipse season, which is, the first one, the new moon to the full moon, there's a lot of very bizarre energy. So maybe it's just a good thing is, okay, when it's time to, when you push forward, when you feel like you need to step back, okay? So let's see what higher power has to say. What do you have to say for our Sagittariuses for this weekend? Interesting. Let's see. This is reversed. First card for my Sages is, well, the Knight of Fire does not hold back. The Knight of Fire goes forth. The Knight of Fire says, this is one of those weekends not to hold back. I'm like, okay. I was talking more like for this, like push, pull for the, this eclipse type of season, okay? It's like, there's going to be time you're going to go forward, and there's going to be times you're going to pull back, or you're not going to do this. And the Knight of Fire, This is one of those weekends that says that you're going to be on fire. This is one of those seasons, this time that says you're going to go after what it is you really want. Now, Night's underlying energy is fire. This is fire. That is your energy, Aries energy, Leo energy, passionate, burning, very determined. Now, the Knight of Fire is also very courageous. So you may feel like you're getting, maybe it's going to be one of those times that it doesn't really feel like, everybody else is kind of like, oh, no, I'm not going to do it. Are you going to do it? No, I'm not going to do it. Kind of like that one commercial. Let's get Sagittarius to do it. And, so I just feel a little bit of that caution. I know sometimes I'm pushing you forward and sometimes I'm telling you to wait. Maybe this is that urge to push forward. Maybe this is that urge to just jump in the fray and just kind of, just like a sink or swim type of energy. Let's see. Passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. And the night is directional, so once it decides to go a direction, once it starts to move, it really moves. And that fire energy just pushes it forward. Not quite sure if I can if I'm going to encourage you to do it or be more just aware that you may want to do it. Okay? Maybe that's more the case. And we'll see what the other cards say too. Here we go. Next card is ego. Yeah, you're going to want to do it. You're going to want to jump in. You're going to want to just get in there and do whatever it is that needs to be done. Okay? Now, with ego energy, though, ego energy is the Devil card. This is the Devil card. It is a major arcana. It is a 15, and it's, change. 1, new beginning. 10, transition. 5, change. 1 plus 5, 6. The number of man, the energies you put into something. Archangel Jophiel is a very creative energy. So, also of the, a lot of times if you're an artiste, if you're an entertainer, Jophiel, helps with creation of that type of material. Anyway, ego is really, why are you doing what you're doing? Are you doing it to be the big shot? Are you doing it to be the, hey guys, look at me, this is why I'm doing it? Or are you doing it because it's the right thing to do? Because with ego, so you've got the one thing. One is you're doing it because it makes you look, or you think it makes you look better. But another reason is you're doing it because it scares the poop out of you, okay, to do it. So because ego is also, like I said, the Devil card, and the Devil card is where it is all about fear. So it's like, it's like finding the motivation, okay? Find the motivation on why you're doing what you're doing. This is what ego is really, really telling us. Are you doing this because, like I said, it's going to make you look like the good guy or the good Sag, or are you doing it because it's the right thing? It is finding out your motivation. But again, ego is about facing fear. So I'm not quite sure really where these two are going just yet, but a false sense of entrapment, being overly, and the false sense of entrapment means that you're doing it just to make some changes, just because, you just need to get out of there. But it's a false sense. So maybe again, I'm not sure where we're going with any of this, my Sages. Being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. And that's what I'm always saying. I just have to say it, not necessarily figure it out. Here we go. Last card, strength. 1, 5, 1, 1. So we've got that 1, 10, and now a 1. But we add the 1 and the 1 together, it becomes a 2. Choices, decisions, coming together. Strength, Archangel Ariel. Ariel is an earth, is a celestial energy that is very close to the earth. Okay, is very much wants to take care of and watch over the natural parts of the earth. Now, this is a 1-1. Again, there is that, there is that equilibrium. There is that Libra type of energy here. There is also, this says strength, but there is also in the traditional, this would be the justice card. This is karmic justice. This is being strong where you need to be strong, but it's also letting things, letting things balance out in itself. So something this weekend, I am going to really say, check your motivation this weekend. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it because it's the right thing to do? Are you doing it because it'll make you look good? I don't mind that per se as a fire sign. I don't mind that either, as long as it's the right thing to do, because the Strength card, or like I said, in the traditional tarot, this would be the Justice card. You're doing it because it is, like I said, you're doing it because it's the right thing. All right? Or are you being pushed into it? That's the other thing. This ego card is all about facing fears. Yep, we know about facing fears, but it's also, again, what's your motivation? What's your motivation? Check your motivation, okay? Is this the time to run into the fire, or is this the time to maybe get the hose? Okay, so great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion. And part of the forgiveness is also forgiving yourself. We all do things that we all have to forgive ourselves for. Some big, some little, doesn't matter. But forgiveness is one of those things, and I say this a lot, but forgiveness is one of those things that sets you free. Okay? Okay. So higher power. Interesting energies for our Sagittariuses. You're going to have to tell me what this all means. Let's see what we've got here. Foundation and achievements. Well, there's stability here. There is stability here. There is, there is that set pattern. Now, is this being rocked? Is this being rocked? Are you going after something to create your stability, your foundation and achievements? Are you being recognized? Again, is this about it makes you look good? But it's really, there's nothing really bad about that per se. But I guess the thing is, what is that all about? What is your foundation and achievements? I do love the rainbow over the home. The home may not necessarily be a big home, but it does appear that it's going to be satisfactory to the home too. Not quite sure where we're at with this one, but is this in order to maintain this? Not quite sure. Let's see. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. But it also is a very good reminder. It is a good reminder that when we want to do something, when we want to break away, or we want to basically go after something by ourselves, it's a good reminder to have the people, have the people that love you and that you love, make sure they've got your back on this. Okay? That, I think, would be a very good marker on why you're doing whatever this is that you're being pushed to do. Okay? I would check in. I would check in with the people that care about you. Okay. Let's see what we have with the abundance of angels. And that time it actually shuffled really good. Was having trouble before. Here we go. Reversed. Do the work. Okay. It's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. Do the work. So is that what this is about? Sometimes we're put into situations that that could jeopardize this stability. Sometimes, and again, too, part of that is, that Knight of Fire, just sometimes he gets me as a really positive influence. It's like, yeah, just do it, gotta do it. And other times he kind of, especially next to ego, it's kind of like, like running into an office and telling somebody, you know what, I don't like you, I quit my job. And quitting your job is not, it's not an easy thing to get a new job unless you have a job. So I guess that's where we're at with this. Do the work, take care of the things and the people you need to take care of. Watch out for your ego. There is justice, so don't worry about that so much. It's like, when something happens, it's like what goes around comes around. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. Anyway, let's see what this is about. Crystal or energy. Red jasper, nurture, determination, relaxing, tranquility. That might be helpful. Okay. My Sagittariuses, let me know what this is all about, because there's just been a lot that I just, on you. So let me know if it makes sense. Anyway, my Sagittariuses, take a moment to like, share, subscribe, do all the stuff that's needed, especially for a small channel like mine. As always, my Sages, though, always know that you are loved, stay shining, and be blessed. Bye-bye.